Luke 23, verses 1 to 31. Then the assembly rose as a body and brought Jesus before Pilate. They began to accuse him, saying, "We found this man inciting our nation, forbidding us to pay taxes to Caesar, and even saying that he himself is the Messiah, a king." Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" He answered, "You say so." Then Pilate said to the chief priests and the crowds, "I find no basis for accusation against this man." But they were insistent and said, "He stirs up the people by teaching throughout all Judea from Galilee, where he began, even to this place." When Pilate heard this, he asked whether the man was a Galilean. When he heard that he was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him off to Herod, who was himself in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was very glad, for he had been wanting to see him for a long time, because he had heard about him and was hoping to see him perform some sign. He questioned him at length, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priests and scribes stood by vehemently accusing him. Even Herod with his soldiers treated him with contempt and mocked him. Then he put an elegant robe on him and sent him back to Pilate. That same day, Herod and Pilate became friends with each other. Before this, they had been enemies. Pilate then called together the chief priests, the leaders, and the people, and said to them, "You brought me this man as one who was inciting the people, and here I have examined him in your presence and have not found this man guilty of any of your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us. Indeed, he has done nothing to deserve death. I will therefore have him flogged and release him." Then they all shouted together, "Away with this fellow! Release Barabbas for us!" This was a man who had been put in prison for an insurrection that had taken place in the city and for murder. Pilate, wanting to release Jesus, addressed them again, but they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" A third time he said to them, "Why? What evil has he done? I have found in him no ground for the sentence of death. I will therefore have him flogged and release him." But they kept urgently demanding with loud shouts that he should be crucified, and their voices prevailed. So Pilate gave his verdict that their demand should be granted. He released the man they asked for, the one who had been put in prison for insurrection and murder, and he handed Jesus over as they wished. As they led him away, they seized a man, Simon of Cyrene, who was coming from the country, and they laid the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. A great number of the people followed him, and among them were women who were beating their breasts and wailing for him. But Jesus turned to them and said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For the days are surely coming when they will say, 'Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bore, and the breasts that never nursed.' Then they will begin to say to the mountains, 'Fall on us,' and to the hills, 'Cover us.' For if they do this when the wood is green, what will happen when it is dry?" Abdication of responsibility is a lethal temptation. We want to believe ourselves innocent of the things which are very truly our fault. We see Pilate put on a masterclass of abdication here. Pilate attempted to avoid the problem by sending him to Herod, who also dodged a decision for fear of the people. Not once, not twice, but 3 times Pilate attempted to release Jesus with only a flogging. No small punishment, but far better than crucifixion. Instead, he released Barabbas without a lashing, and he handed over Jesus. The guilty went free, and the only innocent man, Jesus, was to be killed. Pilate surely thinks he has done everything he can. From the Gospel of Matthew, we know that Pilate even washed his hands, symbolizing that he found himself innocent of the death being administered. But we know this is not the case. Yes, Jesus came to die, and yet he came to die because we lie to ourselves, to one another, and to God when we believe ourselves innocent. We are not innocent. And so, as Jesus marches ahead of his cross, carried by the man Simon of Cyrene, he tells weeping women that their tears are for the wrong people. Weep instead, Jesus says, for the ignorant who do not know how to be truthful with themselves. There will be a day where you would rather die from a landslide than deal with the consequences of your actions. Talking about sin and its consequences is taboo. We don't like to do it, and it makes us feel uncomfortable. But we have to be honest. Sin is an offense to God, and it is not how we were created to act. Jesus came and died because of sin. His death, Paul says, was to sin. So, where in your life have you not been honest about sin? Where in your life do you need to lament and ask for forgiveness for your actions? Where have we mistreated Jesus in the name of ignorance when really we knew better?